I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Karel Bredell back here with us in Franschhoek on Natural Medicine World Channel. We had so much fun last time. We had to have you back. I'd like to start where we left off. Please just recap the difference between a homeopathic and a herbal remedy.
So, homeopathic remedy hasn't got actual active ingredients in the homeopathic remedy. It's got a message or a memory information on a quantum level.
So an energetic imprint.
It's more an energetic imprint. You're right, and it tells the body what to do, and the body then needs to respond to that. If that body is too sick to respond, it doesn't really work. In my experience, I find children, animals, young people, healthy people really respond very quickly and very effectively to it. But if I have a patient on 7 chronic medications, homeopathy doesn't do much.
It's obviously also compliance, and people not knowing they can't use a minty toothpaste and then put the homeopathic pills in the mouth, or the drops and coffee as well, and that kind of thing, right?
You have to educate them because it absorbs through the mucus lining, most of it, and that's where you get the message. So the palate needs to be clean. So 15 minutes, 10 minutes before meal, and a good 15-20 minutes after meal, and you shouldn't have coffee, toothpaste, food in your mouth. I think that's a homeopathic remedy.
Right.
Sorry, you were saying?
You could have the same name. You could have valerian as a homeopathic remedy and as a herbal product. So you need to know that there's a difference, not just that it's made differently, but the methodology and the mechanism of action is completely different in the body with a homeopathic preparation compared to a herbal.
There's another very important difference, and the one is homeopathy works on an energetic level, and it doesn't connect with any receptor sites in the cells. So that's why it doesn't interfere with medicines or herbs. Whereas herbs actually connects onto the cells different receptors, and then have like medicine, have an effect, stimulate an effect in the cell. And that's why you can have interactions with herbs and medicines.
And not with homeopathic medicine.
So that's the beauty with homeopathy. It's very safe. It's very easy to use.
Gentle.
It's gentle. It can work really quickly and very effectively, and it hasn't got side effects. But when you need oomph, I find, even though you can have a really quick, effective reaction, but sometimes you need herbs or medicines.
What about combining a herbal and a homeopathic in your treatment protocol?
I wouldn't use the same. I wouldn't use valerian.
Homeopathically and herbally.
And herbally.
But you may use a homeopathic remedy for an emotional state and a herbal preparation for a physical condition.
Exactly, and they actually work beautifully together. I used the example last time of a builder, the map, the memos, the information leaflets, and I see herbs as the finishing touches, the paint and the plaster and the tiles and those extra things that you can use to build this house. But it's again more gentle than medicine.
So if you were to have a patient present with chronic stress and the symptom is anxiety, would you use a same homeopathic preparation as if the person presented with anger as a symptom of a stress response?
No, those are different things. Right. So homeopathically, I'm not a homeopath. I'm a general practitioner who found that homeopathy works, and that's the only test. Does it work for me? If I see something new, I go and I see, does it work? I often use it on myself first before I would use it on patients. Often I use it in the family, and even if a rep comes and tells me that a homeopathic remedy works and I find it doesn't, then it's either used wrongly or it doesn't work. it's been around 200 years. If it didn't work, we would have kicked it out long ago.
Sure.
And I must say, I became convinced when I saw it work on babies and animals, because they say, oh, that's a placebo effect and you think you're going to get better. They don't know it works. How can you get that reaction?
I was blown away the first time I saw a tumor, a huge tumor on a horse's face, treated completely successfully by Dr. Alex Niven with a homeopathic preparation. Then I knew that horse understood nothing about placebo.
Yeah.
But tell me, when you're looking at homeopathy, as a non-homeopath interested in homeopathy, you probably most likely would reach for a complex remedy rather than a simplex remedy. So if you could explain the difference.
Good point. So simplexes, that's where homeopathy started. They took a single remedy, a single specific remedy, and first would take the patient, look at his constitution, the way he lives, the way he looks, the way he reacts, and the problem, and look for a single simplex remedy. But that takes time. I haven't got an hour to spend with the patient. The beauty with complexes is that's where you add different simplexes together in different strengths and different combinations. The beauty with that is it's very quick, it's very effective, it's very easy to use, and any general practitioner can do that. So I also believe 200 years ago life was so much simpler. It was a cleaner environment. If I have a problem now with the patient with anger, it's never a single thing. Right. Stress might be part of it.
Like a husband or a wife.
There's no simplex for that. That will sort that out. But the beauty with the complex, say there's anger, can be stress. On top of that, his body is taking stress because he needs to get rid of the toxins that get sprayed on the vineyards next to his house. On top of that, he's eating food that he's sensitive to. On top of that, he's got mercury in his mouth because of amalgam fillings, which upsets the brain. You have a combination of things. That's why you can't use a simplex. So that, to me, is the beauty of complexes. It's easy to use, but you look at the whole package. With homeopathy, if you have a problem and you use a homeopathic remedy that's not the correct one for that person, the beauty with that is your body won't resonate, won't react, but it won't harm. That's the beauty. It's like you get a message and you look at it and you say, not for me, that's a lot of bull, you know.
I remember my little girl, the youngest one, when she had a friend over and they raided my homeopathic cupboard, and I had a cupboard full of homeopathic remedies, and they went through the whole cupboard, and I phoned the mom and I said, you're going to possibly, you can expect some or other emotional reaction over the next while, but it wouldn't damage, but it definitely brought out issues in the child that we weren't aware of.
Well, if it hits the right thing,
that's a good thing.
That's often where homeopathy can have a reaction where it gets worse before it gets better. In fact, when we use something and we get a reaction, you're spot on. That's the beauty of it. Not always, but sometimes. And the beauty is a single dose can sometimes have an effect over days, weeks even. But complexes made it so much easier to use.
So this is fun, right? I mean, you see a patient and now emotionally you'll deal with a stress and anxiety issue with a complex homeopathic remedy. And if you sense that or hear that the patient also is in a stressful environment when it comes to environmental toxins and pollutants, you can look at the detox organs. You can maybe use some herbal extract like milk thistle to stimulate the liver and that kind of thing. I think it's much more fun than conventional medicine.
What changed in my life, for 10 years I did pure medicine, and it was fun, but I used to operate and remove tonsils, did appendectomy, did Caesars, delivered babies. It was fun. But then you get to a point where all of that work got taken over by specialists, and now you sit with cough and colds. I used to see a single cancer patient per year, and maybe every 2 years I would see a chronic patient with an autoimmune disease. A few weeks ago, my wife, who also does functional medicine with me, diagnosed 3 Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune disease of the thyroid, in one single morning.
Oh my goodness.
Whole change of what has happened
in... What are you talking time span here?
30 years.
Wow.
So we used to see coughs and colds, tonsillitis, flu, diarrhea, and now all my practice is mainly chronic conditions. Something has changed in the last 30 years.
What do you think?
Diet, nutrition, stress, toxins. We used to have...
Food quality probably a lot, processed meals, and then Roundup, glyphosate. Yeah.
I see So, on the one hand, we have got decreased amount of nutrients that helps the body get rid of stuff, and on the other hand, we add to the body's toxic load.
The processed foods.
Processed foods. They reckon the average woman will inhale or put onto her face and her skin, her hair, 1,500 chemicals before she leaves home. We were never ever supposed to handle that. So it becomes a constant mindfulness of what are you doing, what are you putting in your body, what are you putting on your body, what does the environment look like, how do I clean and wash my sinuses, my gut, my skin. But it's worth it, and it's a step by step. People get overwhelmed when we start talking change, your diet and your lifestyle and where you live. And just do it step by step. Do one thing at a time.